Hello, friends.
Hi, everybody.
Today is Friday, April 4th. I'm Roberta.
I'm Lenny.
And we are
the SABLE Stitchers.
SABLE is an acronym for Stash Accumulated Beyond Life Expectancy. I really feel it right now with how little progress I'm making, but...
Got my market patterns in and ready to get started.
I know, it's very exciting to start a few new things, but... we usually start with just a little bit of a life update. It's been about 2 weeks since we filmed, so...
Well, we got a cloudy, rainy day today.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
It is a good stitchy day. I got my nails painted.
They look
you guys
very
have
nice.
never seen my nails painted. So I decided to treat myself. And let's see. Not too much, a lot of stitching. Wyatt's at a gym meet today, and he's doing quite well. They're in Oklahoma City today. So... wish I could go with them and just drop me off at this little store that's down there, and pick me up on the way back. Mason's in a tournament in Manhattan with rugby, so Mom and Dad is going to Manhattan, and then Luke got cleared. He got his staples out and went through his protocol, and he got cleared to play today. So, or tomorrow, I guess it is. So,
and if you missed that on the last video, Lenny was talking about her grandson who was hit in the head during a rugby game. And
cracked his head open, had 6 staples put in the head, and had a severe concussion. But he's still in a little bit of a fog, I think. Or maybe it's because you're 17. I don't know. But he's doing much better, and he actually is going to the prom next weekend.
Well, that's exciting. I'm glad he got better for that.
Yeah, and Brand is doing fine. He's got a little girlfriend, and they're so cute. So, all right, I'm just doing lots of stitching and enjoying spring, except for those doggone thunderstorms. My puppy does not like thunderstorms, and she is up pretty much all night long.
It's April showers bring May flowers, and we are getting a little bit of rain right now.
And it is fun to see the little buds popping up. Roberta's garden's getting greener and colorful, and so I did watch a Flosstube. I think it was Unfinished Stitches, and she had, and I was going to tell you this. She had a little, like a scrapbook that she keeps track of every year.
Oh, yeah.
And takes pictures of her garden and what grew and what harvested. And so anyway, I thought that was a great, I don't garden, but I admire people that do.
Yeah, it's fun to keep track of that.
So it was really cool that she did that.
And sometimes you don't feel like you're making progress, so it's nice to be able to look back and see, how far you've come on things. And, it's been so nice. It's almost been tempting to put in annuals, but we have like a frost. We might have a frost or snow showers this weekend, so I'm waiting a few more days.
I'm a plant potter. Okay, does that sound right?
You're a plant potter. What does that mean?
No, I'm a plant in a pot.
Kind of. Okay. You like to,
I'm a container. I'm a container planter.
So you have like indoor garden, or you mean like out on your patio?
Out on the patio.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't want to dig in the dirt. I mean, except for in the pots. But anyway.
Well, that's fun too. You get a lot of pretty flowers doing that. So we're going to share some market starts, whips. Lenny has some frame pieces and things that we really kitted.
I have a lot of finishing that I did this past 2 weeks. So
that's exciting.
And a lot of starts and stitches and finishes. And Whip Go has really helped because I did it for February Whip Go, got it finished in February, got it framed in March, and I've got it to show you. So I'm happy.
Well, I'm just gonna celebrate. My daughter-in-law Kristen became a U.S. citizen last week, and so that was very exciting. That test is no joke. We were taking it when we saw her in February, and it's hard to know all those answers. So good for you, Kristen.
Who was the 32nd vice president? Just like, why?
I know.
I don't know, but I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, it's like we were watching one of the old, that wedding show where you had to ask questions.
Newlywed Game?
Yeah, Newlywed Game. Anyway, so we were playing that along with them. And it's like, Ike and I have been together for 55 years.
Oh, but those questions, yeah, can throw you for a loop.
It's like, we shouldn't be together. Anyway, it was funny. So,
Well, thank you for all the well wishes for my foot. I am
she's got a shoe on.
I do have a shoe on, but I wasn't apparently doing things right. My doctor just said, this is what I heard. He said, start out wearing a shoe 2 hours a day and then gradually increase. So to me, that's like, oh, I'm going to add a half hour a day. And so the other day I did like a walk around the neighborhood in my shoes and came back and my foot was, I was kind of limping by the time. I almost called my husband to come get me. I looked up some YouTube videos, and what they mean by going slowly is that the first week you do 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon in your shoe. Then the next week you may do 2 hours in the morning. It's not like, okay, by the end of this week we'll be doing like 3 hours, I'll be walking
ready to go.
Yeah, and so I need a little more specific when you just say go gradually means something different to me than to the doctor apparently. So I backed off, and so I am being good. And then I just wanted to mention, and Lenny and I have mentioned this several times, but I just want to reiterate that we really want to do videos that are enjoyable for all of our viewers, and we appreciate your feedback. If we're doing something that is, making it hard for you to see what we are showing you, or don't give enough description, or something else that is inhibiting you from getting the most out of our videos, we appreciate your kindly letting us know about that. And I'm mentioning this because I saw a comment on someone else's video that I thought might have been directed to us, and it's like, well, it doesn't do us any good if you comment on someone else's. Could have been someone else, but we want to know. We want to do the best videos possible, and we're all going to have our individual quirks, and we're all going to, we can't be all things to all people, but we just want to be the best we can be.
We try to do our best, and if there's a little thing that,
yeah,
just let us know. If we can fix it, we'll fix it.
Yeah, and we just want you to know we love all of you, and we really appreciate all of you who take the time to watch our videos, to comment, or even not to comment, to like the videos. We appreciate all of that so much. We love getting to know you, and we hope that you feel our love and, for you and for our stitching as we do our videos. And just we want this to be a positive place where we can all feel safe to share our love of stitching and just create a wonderful stitching community. So
we really like to read your comments and love your nice words, and always so positive and happy to be there. And we're so happy to share with you guys. I mean, I look forward to it, when our time comes up and getting everything ready to share with you. And
it is just exciting.
And I have so much. I have so much to share with you today. I'm really excited.
So
okay. Do you like baseball?
Yes.
Have you, opening season started last week.
I know.
And do you know why frogs make good baseball players?
Ribbit? I don't.
They're good at catching flies.
Oh, good. Yes, that's important.
Okay. Our book of days. Oh, and we got new WIPCO numbers. It was called for April was 4 and 10.
Okay.
So you mark those down.
I haven't worked on those yet. I'm working through a little bit.
One of mine's going to be a wool project, which I did bring today. And the other one, I did a PUFO.
Oh.
I had one down on my WIPCO that I decided I didn't want to work on it anymore and put that time into it. So I just changed it it was a Christmas project. And I just changed it to another Christmas project that was on my WIPCO previously. Okay, well, I finished my March. So there's my March. And I started 3 projects, and I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So,
Good job.
So I took some that I had almost done and then finished them up. Some I've finished, and others are waiting to be finished.
Okay. And then,
sorry, just a little bit in April. got it a little stickered up. And
Mr. Frog didn't visit, did he?
yes, he did.
He's visited me too.
He's
so
visited twice in the
he's
same
been-
project on the same day.
He's been getting around, unfortunately.
Oh, I guess I wrote that down twice. I take that off. So anyway, we'll talk about our starts and whips a little bit.
Well, that's my page for the last week in March, and then over here I have a list of all the whips that I've worked on
Oh, I was gonna do
in
that.
March.
I forgot.
This is my overview of April. This is like all I have going on, doctor's appointments and meetings with friends and all that kind of stuff, and volunteer events. And I get my stickers from Sadie's Stickers, like, guys, that's what Tara Sullivan does,
so
and
pretty.
I love them. And then that's my page for April. I've been stitching on like several things a day, so it might not look like I've made much progress because
Same here.
I'm touching
Well-
a lot of different things. So,
Incoming.
okay. So we better show something. You have some
Well, let me
frames
show you.
and finishes. And
I have some special things to show you. Let me show you my little things, and I finished the new Santa, Prairie School Santa. So this is the 2025.
you are on top of it.
I just picked him back
Isn't he
up,
fun?
and throwing snowballs. I just added some little buttons and some twine, and then I put my crochet flower on the back. So that was one. And I went ahead and brought my Hello There starting in the first of the year, so you can kind of see the progress that I've made throughout the years. So this was my January,
Cute.
and this is my February. Whoops. And these are new ones that I did this month. Here's my March. And these buttons were from Just Another Button Company. And then I just made a button cover and covered it up with the same fabric. So that was my March.
Cute.
This one I thought was gonna, it just kind of evolved this way. So this was April. And I took some, what do you call that twine? Baker's twine. When I stitched it up. And it didn't look too bad, so I just left it. I kind of thought it was cute. So again, Just Another Button Company. So there's April.
Looks like a big Tootsie Roll.
It does look like a Tootsie Roll. And then my last one was, I did a little one, so it was May. And then
You're ahead of the game.
and I've started June,
So
and I have
pretty.
July already done that I did last year. So I am caught up to almost a half a year. So I'm so excited.
That's wonderful. Those are really pretty colors.
Thank you. Okay. I showed you this last time, because I had just popped it in there. And when I went to take my other things to Hobby Lobby, I showed them how it was, and they said, "Oh, we can do that for you." And I mean, really, pretty much at no charge. So they finished my, I think we said this was Cottage Gardens, and they put it in there real nice for me. It doesn't have anything sticking out, so got that one done. And this was my whip go from February that I had almost, I'm sorry, I'm out of the picture, that I almost had done,
That turned out cute.
finished it, and they did such a lovely job on
They
it.
really did a nice
And
job.
I put glass on this one, and I can't wait. I'm going to hang it up just because I want to look at it.
Well, it looks like spring colors. I mean, if someone has just glanced at it, they wouldn't
It
know
would
it
know.
says Merry Christmas.
And I don't really care.
I mean, it
So-
just looks like very, yeah.
But anyway, there's the ring light, but
Oh, yeah.
on the most part, they did such a great job.
Yeah, it's
And
just so overcast
then
today.
my big one, I am so happy to share, and I'm happy to find. This is the one that I lost for a year and a half, and found it in one of my wool boxes. But this is my Blackbird, Our Lasting Friendship. So, and I had glass put on it too. So I had our initials. All I had left to do is put the initials, and then I put 2025 because really that's when I finished it. However, I did most of it in 2022, I think, 3. But I'm really proud of that one.
Yes.
So those are my finishes, and I'm just so happy.
I just had a couple small finishes to share. I've seen people talking about these recently, and this I think was a market exclusive. I think 2 years ago. These are both Stacy Nash pieces. I have these on display in a spare bedroom. I'm not sure what this was called, but this was like a 3-generation collaboration between Stacy. Her mom covered the box. Her daughter Taylor made cute little waxers that came with the kit, and then Stacy designed the pattern.
So sweet.
So that's a piece I enjoy displaying, and then I also have this needle book, and there was like 4 different patterns that she had that went with this, and I think she had the inside was also, these bird patterns, and I copied our friend Kathy Lounsbury, and I did the big bird on the front, and then she had one design that had all these
I love
birds on the back, and so I did that one, and so I also like to have that one on display. And especially, now we're hearing all these birds singing. They're so happy, and they're busy making their nests, I guess. So,
and with the puppy up so early in the morning,
you really are hearing them.
I really hear the birds in the morning.
So, and then I just wanted to mention one other thing. I have been destashing some of my patterns, and I've been doing it via Etsy. I'll try to show maybe a screenshot of what my Etsy shop looks like. It is SABLE Stitcher Roberta. I can't say SABLE Stitcher Roberta. And thank you. I had mentioned that on Instagram, and I've sold a few things already. And so thank you to all those who have already ordered from me. I still have a lot of great patterns left, so I hope you check it out. And if you have any questions, need any other photos, let me know, and I'm happy to send those along. But I'd like to get those out so someone else can enjoy them, because they're, sometimes you feel a little pang about letting go of some of these things, but I just have so much.
I know. I need to do that too.
I want someone else to enjoy it, and not just be sitting in my stash.
Oh, there was a question I just remembered. Who was the designer for Rose Quaker, or Quaker Rose?
And I'm going to show that.
Okay.
It's the Vienberg Designs, and I think I sent them the link. It's an online shop out of Germany.
Okay.
So
we'll cover that later.
All right. So whips.
Yeah. When I did my whip go, I did put some general ideas to what I wanted to work on, and like Christmas or fall or Halloween. And
It gives you a lot of flexibility, so that's a good idea, because what you think you might want to do in January.
Well, that's just it. I had that candy cane one that I wanted to work on, and it was just, it's cute, but there was so many other ones that I wanted to work on more. So I thought, for my time, I'd like to spend the time on the other ones. So maybe I'll get back to it. I don't know. But as you know, I'm working on the Primitive Gatherings mini barn, and my April came in, and I just thought that chickie was so cute. I don't have it sewed yet, but I do have, and I did bring the barn this time.
I love the pussy willows on this.
So these, I'm sorry, there's a template for the barn, and the corners fold down. But I got the little chick and my tulips and the pussy willow, and then there's a lot of embroidery on there because there's a vine that goes all around this way, and the vine comes up through the daffodils. And so, but I'm excited that I got it pieced on there, or laid on there.
Those colors look great on that background.
Oh, and I just, they do such a good job. So I get to work on on other things too. So it's exciting. And then my other whip go, I am working back on my North Pole by Kathy Barrick. Whoops. And I got a lot done on him, and I'm really excited. So I went down his coat and his staff and worked on the borders. And
He's coming right along.
You hold him up. So bad. And here's Mr. Claus. So this is the one that I picked up to finish working on because I'd really like to get this done and framed before Christmas.
Okay.
All right.
Good bag.
Thank you. That came from.
Okay. I made a little bit of progress on Reverend Gordon's squash bottom. I think this was one of my whip go for. One of my whip goes for March was to spend 2 extra days on one of my fall pieces. So
You're really getting there.
I'm almost finished with all the little sawtooth things. I put in the flowers in the corners. And so I have like some other little motifs throughout the big white house and then the year. And I don't know if I'm not sure what the significance, the year is 1761. I'm not sure what the significance of that year is. I'll have to look that up and try to figure that out. But
it usually means something.
it does. I don't think that would be Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Anyway. That was fun.
Oh,
That was fun. That was just fun. I'm just mumbling.
and, my other March whip go was Rosa Sugars.
Oh, fun.
And I got a lot done on her.
She is so sweet.
She's so sweet.
I don't have anything ironed. You're all ironed and all this kind of stuff. And
she's done on MPI silk. And the fabric is a 36. I want to say like antique ivory or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
And then it's a hats on design. And I really, really, really wanted to work on her, but the frog visited me on this one. So,
no.
Doggone ribbit. So I started the alphabet down here, but this was the part that I had to rip out was that whole middle part there. And I was going to get all the way across there, and then I have a little something here, and then do the alphabet at the bottom, so I could figure out where I finished. Because I have a lot of fabric on this one, and I want to be able to cut it,
trim it off. Yeah.
But these are Victoria Clayton silks, and they're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
They're very pretty. Okay, Thursday is the day I'm trying to do some time on Rose Quaker.
Oh.
And someone had, like Linny said, a couple people have asked about the pattern and it's available. I think you go to the website, you place your order, and then they will, and they're on they're several hours ahead of us, so it's usually like give them 24 hours to get back to you. And you pay on the website, and then like within 24 hours they will send you a PDF of whatever you ordered. So it's not in here; it's in some other bag. It'll float in here somewhere. I'm not sure where it is.
Oh, those rose colors, though.
Yeah, there's my colors, and I just pulled from my stash, so I have some coloring cotton that I thought would go with this. So, okay, whenever I go through these, I will find it and I'll show it to you as I go through my bags. I was just working on it yesterday, so it can't have gone far.
Oh, it's like mine's still on on my board at home. Let's see, what's another thing that I've been working on? Let me look at my notes. Okay, I started a couple things with some friends of mine. ours. I wanted to start Indigo Lane. I've been wanting to start that one for years. And one of our friends, Barbara, had asked if I wanted to start along with her. And I said, of course. So I bought all the fabric. It called for fabric, and it called for cottage garden threads and some DMC. And I had some cottage threads that I purchased earlier. So I did those and then been kind of using my own fabric. Well, how you like that? Well, what's that? Here is, I have started this on 3 different fabrics because summer khaki, it called for 36 summer khaki. And
The blues look really great on that.
All right. I love this pattern. This is, I told you, Barbara, don't expect much. Because she showed hers, and oh my gosh, hers is about halfway done. This is summer khaki on 36. That's all I have done. I am having a heck of a time with this fabric. I don't know if it's just my eyes, which probably is. But the colors are so pretty. Kind of a mess because I haven't put them on a ring yet. Well, I guess I did put them on a ring. But just, I've tried so many different blues on different fabrics, so I'm a little behind. The frog visited me a lot, and I'm going to keep working on this one. I do have a spare color that I thought maybe this blue would look pretty on that. And
I mean, I like all the colors on this. They all show up, I think, pretty well.
so I'm going to try working on it during the day.
Yeah.
I've been working on it at night, and we all know how that goes. So I'm going to keep working on it. So sorry, Barbara.
Well,
I'll catch up.
we all do like start-alongs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is one I've been working on for Easter. It's by the Calico Confectionery, Easter Blessings. I changed the color. I think I'm doing this on 40 count Heartland. And I changed the colors based on the color palette for these 2 scattered seeds. My idea is I have a couple of dough bowls, and my idea was to have a dough bowl that has these 2 in it, and then the Easter Blessings, and oh my goodness, Nicole Spore's latest video, or the last 2, she showed a scattered seed bunny she's working on that I really like him too. So,
Look at your little chickie.
this screen is, so here's the color palette that goes with those 2 scattered seed patterns. Oh, I have a cute little Peter Rabbit floss ring there, and I'm not sure who I got that from. So I am using DMC 3011 for my lettering. That's how far I got. And to me, this reminds me of like faded Easter grass. I like a lot of primitive things, so that's why I like the way it's looking. But it just takes it takes a lot of concentration. And I don't know about you, I stitch when I watch TV a lot, and I think that I think maybe that's why I've had to frog so much. But here's the colors on the called for. I think this is Weeks Straw, and I just think this would all be really pretty together.
It really will.
It would be blend. So
I think I need to be more patient. That was my word this year, was patience.
Oh.
And I think I want everything to be done so quickly. And I know that can't happen.
mine is progress, not perfection. So it's hard.
I need them both.
Not to be ripping things
I need
out.
everybody's word because they all sound so good. And it's like, I need help. Let's see. Another whip go I have is, this was another start along with Debbie. So we were going to do pigeon in petal. And oh my God. Again, don't expect too much. But this is by Janine McGowan, Pigeon and Puddle.
There was a lot of people starting that at Nash Stash.
This is just so cute. And those yellow galoshes. But I didn't have all the threads.
Yeah, such a clever idea.
this is the one that had the cottage garden threads in it also. And I don't have very many of those, so I had to do some conversions, which I think I did a pretty good job. But again, not a big start. So this is done on copycat. I did it like Roberta does.
Oh, well, that's good.
So pictures are this perfect 32 count Belfast Legacy. And again, that's my start.
I like those colors on there.
So the purple is a blended DMC. And so it turned out really pretty. The green is called for, and the yellow is 726 DMC. And I don't know if I've done any of the orange in. No, the center of the daffodil I'm doing in Week Stywer Carrot.
So cute.
So, and then I have the other colors except for, well, let's see what I got here. I pulled them all out and did the best I could.
Such a happy little pattern.
Yeah, I traded the cottage gardens for a lot of the DMC alternatives, and they're blended colors to give it that variegated look. And then the ecru, I did a Victoria Clayton beige, and it's real shiny, so it looks real pretty. So just the colors and the fabric. So I'll get back to this at the beginning of the month. I'm going to work a little bit on my whip goes and then go back. So these are also going to be my big plans. Will be the whip go and the 2 start alongs with my friends. Okay.
I'm continuing to work on plug away at Feast of Friendship with Merritt Crawford and some other people. And this month, this is on Dirt Track 40 count Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track. And this month, I finished the ruff. That cute little checkerboard ruff.
That's going to be so cute.
And I think then you did the little chimney things too. So I think this month I'm supposed to start working on the urn.
That's almost, when you look at it,
It's so cute.
it's almost like a small, but it's not
It does.
small
No,
at
it's
all.
not. I mean, that house, I'm almost tempted to start on the house and start. The house has,
That was
a
my
lot of
favorite
people
part
think-
was the house.
It has so many different blues in it. It's so pretty, but I will be good. I'll try to do, the outline of the urn and get started on that this month.
Yikes.
So that is very fun. I'm really
That's
enjoying
so
doing that
intimidating
and
to
seeing
me.
it. Seeing it come is seeing it. Well, you had a slub in yours, so
I did.
That's always very hard to
And I made
figure
a
out what to
mistake.
do about that.
Okay. I think, I did get my new Punch Needle magazine. I'm so I haven't looked at it yet. I'm being really good till I get home because I got it in the mailbox this morning on my way here. So I can't wait to look at this. I know I want to do a whole lot because I just love that magazine. And then I got some more of my market releases, so I'll wait on that.
Okay. One of my other whip goals for last month was to work on berry bowl, and if you watched our last video, I had mentioned I exchanged this side, I think, with our friend Kay, and she's a speedy stitcher and stitched this and then found out that our linen was different sizes that we thought was the same. So I had to go through my linen stash to find one that was the right count. And then once I figured that out, I did go ahead and get that little berry bowl finished. So this is really fun to work on. I love the berry bowls and how you see them on patterns and you just don't realize the huge variety there is in all of them. And I really enjoy working on it.
I like to do berry bowls.
I know. At some point, maybe I'll get back to when I was working on my side with Kay. I was trying to work on that every Monday. I have a few more whips, so I want to get back to that. Talk about Mr. Frog visiting. I was hoping to get one of these little stocking-looking trees done in March and realized I got busy working on a couple of starts for Nash Stash and didn't work on it last Sunday, which I try to work on Christmas things on a Sunday. So I pulled it out today and wanted to get some of, I'm working on the one on this side, wanted to get some of those little green stocking-looking things done, and I was like, oh, these are running into each other. So I realized I had put a flower like right here, and it needed to go out, it needed to go over. You can see how this one, down, over, down, and I just went down and put it. So I had to rip all that out.
That's a lot like the Indigo Lane.
I know, and I think
got stuck on the tree.
We have watched a lot of, well, we have this past couple of weeks we've watched like disaster videos. We watched the one Twister about the tornado that hit in Joplin, which I remember that happening really, really clearly.
Because we drive through Joplin going to the lake.
And if you, I mean, you know, growing up in the Midwest and living in the Midwest, you hear those tornado sirens all the time, and sometimes you get a little casual about them. And boy, if you see that movie, you will never be casual about it again. You will take it a lot. You will. That
one tornado that we were in as a kid, and I was washing my hair in the kitchen sink, and I go, I'm not going to pay any attention to this. And I washed my hair and then wrapped it up in a towel, and everybody's screaming out in the neighborhood, and walked out there. The first 4 houses on our block were gone.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's scary.
We didn't even, our flower pot was still on our picnic table, so like it hit and then jumped over us and then went on down the street. But I think after that, it's like, I'm going to take these a little bit more seriously and not wash my hair.
Well,
and it was tornado sign.
And what they said is it was a rain-wrapped tornado, so you didn't really even see the tornado cloud because there was rain there. So
yeah,
so take them
seriously.
Yes, do. So this was one of my market starts. This is the Earth Laughs and Flowers by Brenda Gervais. I started this on Friday as part of Nash Stash, and I decided to do it. I have this Picture This Plus Ancient, and I decided I was going to do it on this. And so I started here. I did this part, and I started on the green, and I got to questioning myself. I'm having to adapt some of the colors, and I'll show you what I'm adapting and what I'm using. And I got to questioning myself, and so I sat it down on a chair near where I was stitching, and I thought, why, don't question Brenda Gervais, do it on the fabric sheet said to do it on. So I pulled the called for fabric, which is Dusty Road by Seraphim. So I pulled this and I started stitching that. It's just a little bitty piece, and then I was looking at this piece as it was saying on the chair, and I thought, that isn't as bad as what I thought it was. So I picked it back up, and using our Christy
Hines Happiest Stitches on Earth. Please watch them, you guys. They're absolutely wonderful.
Okay. And so for this was supposed to be Weeks Guacamole, and I thought that was just too light on this linen. So I am using, what did I use? Classic Colorworks Poblano. Let me see if I can compare these two for you. They're very, very close. I don't know if I can. They're very close. This is just a little bit darker, and I thought that made a big difference. Well, then the green under the house is supposed to be Loden, and I was afraid that was a little too light, so I made it Tarragon. There's a difference there. And now I'm afraid maybe that's too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around here, maybe fill in with the bird.
That's a good idea, because that Indigo Lane, I'm having trouble with it, not seeing it, but I think when I get other colors around it,
it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
And I'm thinking once I do the house, I might change the color of the house. It's a gold house. I was thinking, I think Jessica made one in Cinnabar, Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher did one of these and made the house cinnabar. So if I do that, I think I would definitely lighten it up. But maybe I'll try the gold, and maybe that's not a huge amount. Maybe it'll look fine once you add the house. It's when I change colors, I really question myself, but sometimes I find that as you stitch more, it looks okay. It's not as bad as what you think when you're just looking at just a little bitty piece and it's like, oh no, that doesn't look right. As you stitch a little more, it looks a lot better. So I was watching Mrs. Jones, Holly Mrs. Jones stitches, and she just regularly changes her colors from, whatever to color and cotton. And she had a hint of, if you want to change your colors, like totally change your color palette, look at a piece of fabric that you really like and use that kind of as your guide.
That's a good idea.
She makes it sound easy.
So simple.
I know. I don't find it as
That's
easy.
like when I
think she just has a knack for it. And then I wanted to show you that little bling. Well, with cards, these cards are from Berry Stitch Folk, and that's of course our beloved Jean Lee. And then this little needlework bling, that is from My Big Toe. Isn't that cute? All the little doodads. So makes your stitching so happy when you have those little things. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. You can't do that to me.
One more star. Oh no, here it is.
I remember. Stop. Okay. When I was really into quilting, what they had told us is just to go out to nature and look at the blue and the green and the brown.
Yeah.
In nature. And speaking of nature, when I drove, when I drove into your subdivision, there was 12. I counted 12 doe.
Oh yeah.
All walking across the Deer Creek or the Cedar Creek entrance. It was so beautiful, you guys. These beautiful does. And one was getting ready.
They're not by my garden eating my stuff.
I know they're not good for gardens, but they sure
are pretty, aren't they?
It was just like, I don't think I've ever been that
They're
close.
not usually out in the day like that. That's interesting.
And like 10 of them had already crossed,
and
this one, she almost came out, and we were like, and I was like, oh, please don't hit my car. We have to trade it in next week. And anyway, she ran back in the woods, and when I looked that direction, there was like 4 other ones in the woods with her. So, it was just one of those beautiful.
They are fun to see. They're very pretty and graceful looking. And
so graceful.
Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Ooh, I had a thought.
We're going out tonight, so we'll be on the lookout for those.
Be careful.
Look what I found. Here is Rose Quaker. It's on 40 count marbled bunny. And so these are the 3 motifs that I've finished so far. And I am loving this one. I am so glad to be stitching that one. Okay, one more, and then one more. This was my other Nash Stash start, and I am frustrated with myself on this one a little bit. So, Twilight Moon, Stephanie from Lindy Stitches said for their shop, this was one that was done with the Threadworks color palette, the Night Garden Threadworks color palette. And so she said of all of the designs that came out, this was the one that was most popular.
It's my favorite.
And so it calls for model is stitched on over 2 on 32 count linen in Twilight Blue by Witchelt. Well, I just pulled what I had in my stash. So I had 2 Fox and Rabbit Eucalyptus. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. They're very different. So this is when a pattern calls for a certain linen, I don't get too worked up about it because dye lots are also different. It might just look totally different. Your linen might be totally different from the models. So anyway, I picked this dye lot. Like I said, 40, these are both 40 count Fox and Rabbit Eucalyptus. And I just don't, it shows up better there. I was showing it to a text group that I'm in, and they were all saying maybe try a different color. And I don't know. Here's the color palette on here. I thought it would show up okay. It might be partly because she was calling for it to be stitched on, you know, two strands. I'm just feeling like it's not showing up very much on that. What do you think? So I pulled this one is Seraphim Bump in the Night. This is the one I was originally thinking about doing it on. I think it would show up better on there.
I kind of like that one.
I was thinking this one, when you get one strand of that one, that might not show up on that. What are your thoughts? I think I'm probably going to try. This took a while, and it's not, I goofed. I realized when I got over to this side, I was off half a stitch, so that kind of bothers me anyway. And I was having a hard time seeing that dark linen. Should I restart it on this?
Why, I sure like that one.
Yeah, I think I have enough to do it. So let me know your thoughts. And
well, that's just on that theme. Like, this is the Indigo Lane. And to me, it looks like it's kind of on a gray background. But it called for this summer khaki. And whoops. I did it right. It just, I don't know, it just didn't seem to be the right color background. So that's why I kind of went to this blue-gray. But then I think it's too blue. But I kind of like the linens on it, or floss. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying this one more night, and we'll see.
yeah, see what well, and that just reminds me, one of the other videos I watched, Flosstubes I watched this past couple of weeks, was Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher, and she showed her linen organization, and so I had to take all my linen out of plastic bags and line it up in my drawer by color. And it was helpful because it shows you where you might be lacking, like certain colors, you know, like you got all your kind of yellow. It really helps you to see.
Can you really have enough?
Well, it helps you see the undertones easier, like, oh, well, you know, you're comparing it to all these other linens. Instead of having just piled on top of each other, having it, and I'll try to insert a picture here, having it all side by side, it's like, this one definitely has more yellow undertones, this has gray, this has green, and it just might help you narrow down your linen choice a little easier. So
yeah,
so that was
I'm
fun.
Pretty heavy in the vintage mocha. Country vintage mocha, and it's just like
it's a good natural.
It is
good,
a very, I mean, it's a
basic.
It's a good safe one, but it's like I really like to have some more choices. So I don't think I could have enough linen.
Okay,
but I haven't been collecting that long.
Now I have things I kitted up.
I just have some my market releases have come in.
Okay,
so you go ahead.
Okay, so this one I think is
that's that bead.
I haven't seen anyone starting this yet, but of course it's early. But this one called to me. Yes, yeah. I love the bee. And so,
and I like the flower that's next to the bee.
I think you do that border, and I think that's going to be very, very
I do
pretty.
too.
It has it calls for a lot of different colors, and the recommended linen, it just says aged, stained, vintage neutral, preferably medium to darker colors. So that really gave you a lot of leeway. This one is from Vintage Owl Lady, Susan Owens.
She makes the most beautiful bags.
Look at that lining.
They're so unique.
I love it. I love the aqua. She has I just love the fabric choices. Yeah. And then here's the back. She's on Instagram.
That does look like eyes, nose, and a mouth.
She's on Instagram, and when she lists, you need to be, Johnny on the spot to order from her. But this is, so I pulled 46 count Hemingway.
That's another favorite of mine.
Isn't that pretty? It's very brown. And then here are the floss colors.
That's going to be really pretty.
And so I think that would and I have a few more I need to get. So I think that would qualify as vintage stainy looking fabric.
That's going to be pretty.
Those are really bright colors, but
yeah.
I think when you just pull the one and on the linen, I think it would be very, very pretty.
Yeah, I think.
And then here's I also got another set from My Big Toe. The little floss blings, aren't those pretty? kind of like Easter lilies.
I love floss blings.
And then she also, I'm going to show you the tag that was, a tag on there, the little pull tag thing.
Well, at least we don't have any lawnmowers going today.
Well, no.
Pouring.
And then the other thing I kitted up is something from, I think this was from Market last year, but it is so pretty and sweet. And everyone's doing Stacy Nash, and I'm not going to do the animal crackers right now, but I would love to do this pin cushion. And keeping with your bunny theme and all things spring. And
What a cute little bunny.
isn't that in the little nest? I think that's adorable. I pulled 40 count Mayflower linen for this.
That'd be pretty. Oh, yes.
And then I
Nice.
just pulled the flosses from other
You
things
did
that
a
I
good
had kitted
job.
up. Well, it's other stuff I had kitted up, I think. So I think that would be very pretty on there. And then this is my other vintage owl lady bag that I got. Just recently.
Purple.
I know, the purple is really unusual. Look at those
Striking.
pretty-
Yep.
The birds. And then again, the interior is so pretty.
Wow. It's almost like a painting.
That makes me happy.
Oh, do you ever, when you're stitching, I do this at nighttime, when I'm stitching late at night, and I start to think of all the things that I have in my bags, and it's like, maybe that's why I hadn't had problems, but instead of focusing, I keep thinking, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that.
I know.
Does that happen to you? You know,
It's more mine's more at night when I'm trying to go to
mine's
sleep, or I
night
wake up
too.
in the middle of the night and I start thinking.
and all of a sudden I feel, wow, I think I can get a lot done. You know, and then I wake up in the morning and it's like, what are you thinking?
I know. We need to all stitch faster, but yeah.
Well, I just got a few of my market things in that I don't think I've showed you yet. I had ordered Not Forgotten Farm Carrot Top. I'd like to do all of these, but this is the first one that I purchased. Just because it's a little bunny.
He is so cute.
And then
He's very cute.
I've got the floss, but
Very good.
and
good job, Lori.
and you know, I don't think these will take very long, so maybe that will help with my self-satisfaction in getting something done. So I even like just a single little carrot. I think is cute.
Oh, that's adorable. Well, you know, Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher had that question on one of her recent floss tubes. Do you like to stitch smalls or do you like to stitch the big things? And she said the consensus was most people like to do a little of both.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I start a small, I tend to finish it because it is kind of doable. But then I feel kind of guilty, like my bigger things are languishing. So I do like these assignments if I can keep up with them, because
It's hard
then
for
I
me to
am.
stop, you know, and I say, okay, I'll work on an hour on this, and then I'll go to something else. But once I'm in
An
a
hour
groove,
isn't much for me. It's like,
well, it's not much for me either, and it's just like I have difficulty doing that. I mean, days maybe a day, but I don't know. I feel like I'm lacking in smalls, but I want to do. I wouldn't call them the great big ones, but I do like the bigger ones.
it's exciting when I'm watching someone else's floss tube, like Nicole from Nicole's Needleworks just filmed again, and just so happy about that. And she always has something big that she's made a lot of progress
and
on.
Tara does the same thing, and Carol
And Christy Crosshatch.
oh yeah, I just got there watching hers, and it's just like,
And I love
you guys
seeing
are just
everyone's progress on all these big pieces.
inspiring.
So.
I did get my little ladybug.
And I think, didn't Stephanie say that was like the #1 release from
I
Market?
think so.
That is, she's adorable.
I did order
Did
some
you get
different
the pink
well,
linen, or?
I think it was this the pomegranate?
Yes, that sounds right.
Well, I ordered it. I don't know when I'll get it, so I haven't heard anything yet. But I'd like to hold off on that to see if the patterns come in. And then Lucy Beam, I got Santa Dare. And again, I ordered I think I ordered Curtain Call. That's what it calls for, Curtain Call, from Lappin' Loops.
Okay.
So I hadn't heard of it either, but So I'm going to kind of wait till those fabrics come in before I start these. And then I got that big old strawberry.
I love
I
this.
said I'm going to make a strawberry this year. Of course, I said that last year. But from Hands On Design, that big old strawberry. And I did get the floss. So, and I have lots of fabric, neutral fabric that I can work with.
Well, so it was stitched on 20 count. Was it stitched?
20 count milk chocolate.
Was it stitched over one?
Yeah.
Or is it over two?
Well, I don't know. Now that you say that. They're using pearl cotton.
Oh, okay.
Or 4 strands of DMC.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's still.
Oh, that'll be pretty.
So.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Anyway, I'm gonna give that a try.
To see that.
And then I got from my friend Annie. Thank you so much, Annie.
I love that.
So I want to start working on this one so I can hopefully get it close to being done by.
I want to do the
July.
Halloween one. She had the haunted house.
I know. So there's just so many. There's just so many.
Cute.
And then,
horse.
oh gosh, you guys.
Her eagle is so cool.
And her eagle cool, and I love her flags. And I love the horse. I love everything.
It's adorable.
And then I got Teresa Kogut's Coco's Garden. I mean, how could you say no to that?
I know. Boy, I love that too.
It calls, except for the bunny, it calls all for DMC. The bunny, the chocolate bunny, is a variegated, but that's all DMC. Do you think it? Because I think his pants. I don't know. I may change the bunny. May keep the DMC for everything else. But
And Nicole Spore is stitching it, and I think she converted to a lot of color and cotton floss, so that would be more variegated.
I like the bottom to be variegated. Mm-hmm. Wagon, I can see where they have the stripes, but the bunny and his pants. I'm gonna look and see what I have, but I did pull the DMC to kind of see what I got. Okay.
Okay, I got a few more too, and I know someone mentioned they weren't showing all their patterns because you probably see them. I think it's interesting to see what everyone is
Just what their
buying
choices
now,
are.
or what their top purchases were from market. So I enjoy seeing it. I hope you enjoy it. I got Brenda Gervais Liberty. I love that.
Well,
I wasn't going to
wanted-
get that one at first, but then I looked
really
a little
wanted that
closer.
one.
Isn't that pretty?
I didn't get it.
I got Annie B's.
I was
Cocoa
going to
and
get that
Kisses.
too. I didn't get it.
She's so sweet. He's so sweet. I love that, and I love those colors. I got Mary Foch. I have the PDF for this. This was our stitch along for Tudor Rose Sampler Guild last year from Sylvia, running with needles and running with scissors. What is she? She's running with. I can never get this right. Running with needles and scissors, and but I wanted the pattern. To me, it's just a little easier to read on the pattern. Some people have finished this already, and it's so pretty. This is a very pretty sampler, so I want to get back to doing that. So I did buy a couple more animal crackers. These are not recent releases. This came out earlier. That little fox. I love foxes. I guess, and this is that
Raynard.
British series.
Got Raynard.
I got him, and then I got the little.
Oh, I didn't get the bones.
The little cat skeleton. Isn't he cute? There's a couple more I wanted to get, but I'm trying to be.
I'm trying to think if I got Harriet. I have to check I've been wanting to purchase her, and I keep thinking.
Is Harriet the squirrel? No.
Yeah.
You have the squirrel.
I was thinking I did. I said, wait, Lenny, before you.
I think you started her. I think you started her because I have her
too.
I
think you're right. Maybe that's why it's so familiar. I did buy Goose, the little giraffe, just because of my mom. And I mean, it's just like the head, but I don't know. I couldn't help it.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Yes. And I have a couple of retreat updates. I took part a little bit in the Nash Stash event that was hosted by Stephanie of Lindy Stitches last weekend. And I really enjoyed the cookbook review. I missed out on, apparently there was like one section where people shared some whips that they had started during the 2-day event. I did see the cookbook reviews, and I thought that was really helpful, and everything that people shared that they made sounded really yummy.
I've gone through it, and except for maybe zucchini bread, I'm not a fan, I have to admit. But
I love it.
You know,
when we used to grow zucchini in Iowa, I loved making that.
But anyway, I love the cherry desserts.
Yeah.
So I think I tried one of those, and it was a hit. So
it's always good it's always fun to try the new recipes. So let us know if you tried one, what you liked, if you tweaked it at all. I did the braised beef stew on page 51 by Teresa Vanette. I like making soups and stews, especially on days like this when it's kind of cold, cloudy and overcast. And the thing I will say is it tasted better. It made a lot, and it tasted better the next day. And I would, if I made it again, I would, just for me, I'd throw in a little more seasoning, like probably some marjoram and thyme. But it was really good. The beef was really tender, and I thought it had a lot of vegetables in it, so it was really good. So, and that was also fun just to see, just in those 2 days, people also shared some of their whips. Some people had finished things already, like Nicole Spohr finished the Stacey Nash little hedgehog in a pear pincushion thing.
I've seen all the little animal crackers and
yeah, a lot of starts of those.
Gosh, I mean, besides, there's a lot of stitching to them, but they're so darn cute. Those little faces.
There's a lot of people have done Lily already. So
I saw that too. I'm kind of saving Lily for later, but
and then I have 2 more retreats to mention.
Yeah.
Needle Bling Designs has one coming up shortly that still has some openings. The retreat will take place at the Embassy Suites near the Minneapolis airport. And
I thought you were talking about here.
No,
not
quite that close. And it's from May 15th to 18th. It's $250, and registration includes access to stitching room, pop-up shop with trunk shows, linens and other stitching merchandise, freebie, and brag tables. And then Sit and Stitch Ocala has 3 upcoming dates. The one coming up first takes place in June. And these are 1-day stitching events in Ocala, Florida. They take place at the Elliott Center, which is located at the Hospice of Marion County Administrative Office. Registration includes lunch, door prizes, charity raffle, silent auction, and freebie table. And registration is posted 6 weeks in advance on the Facebook group Sit and Stitch. And, Sit and Stitch Ocala. Sorry, it was on the other page.
Turn the page.
And where can you find these? I had mentioned when I was in one of the stitching rooms, someone was saying, how do you find out about these stitching retreats? So please help get the word out. The website is Sable, and I'll scroll it here, sablestitcher.net. I will try to include a screenshot of what the homepage looks like. And you will see, in addition to the retreat listings, which you can search for retreats by date, by if you know part of the name, if you know where it's located, or you can just go through and see what's listed. But there is also a tab labeled FAQ, and that is if you are attending a retreat for a first time and you have questions, which one of the people in one of the stitching rooms said, like something, typical question is, does everyone do an exchange, or what do you bring for table gifts? We have some answers to those typically asked questions on that FAQ page. So if you are going to be attending a retreat, you might want to check that out. And we try to have answers to all the commonly asked questions.
Okay.
I have one more thing. Oops, sorry, Jim. One more thing I wanted to share. Susan Stanley recommended this book a while ago, Threads of Life. It's by Claire Hunter, and it is basically a bunch of essays about stitching, how it brings comfort, how people have traditionally, how it builds culture, just a bunch of little essays on stitching, around
Nice.
stitching, whether cross stitch or embroidery. The first chapter is on the Bayou Tapestry. But there was one thing that I just read recently that I thought was just really interesting. You know, when I start, I usually start at the bottom left, and it mentioned that that's in Ukraine. That's typically how they start, and
In the bottom left?
It says in Ukraine they embroider from the bottom to the top to follow the path of life, and the needle that starts the works must be the same one that finishes it, so the flow of its energy will not be broken. Any mistakes are left as they are in the belief that the past cannot be undone. So there's just, I mean,
my gosh.
this is, I just kind of savor this, read just a few pages every night, because there's a lot to think about, a lot of, you know, she's just had a lot of really amazing experiences helping people stitch to bring comfort, or, you know, as they grieve and things like that. And so it's just very
That's really
interesting.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that I read in this book that I didn't know, you know how, you know, usually we have like little pom-poms, especially on little kids' stocking caps. Well, the pom-pom was originally seen as a way to like ward off evil spirits, or key to protect your kids. And so we don't even know the history. I mean, we just look at it as a little decorative object, but for years and for, you know, generations, people looked at it as like a protective little talisman that you
Who knew?
do for something you do. That's also, you know, adorable and just but a way to protect our children. So I thought that was very interesting. Some other videos I've watched in the past couple of weeks. I wanted to mention Mama Loves You GB. She has a couple of designs that she has coming out based on antique samplers. One has already been released, and then another one she's working on that are really stunning. And I'm very excited. Michelle is going to be one of our speakers at the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild in 2026 on Welsh samplers. And then Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She was at market. She was helping her friend Liz from Hello from Liz Matthews in her booth. And she did a little video of the booth. And one of the patterns I've ordered that's on its way is Kathy Barrick's From Velvet to Linen. And you look at it, so if you haven't seen it, it's like a Victorian looking urn of flowers. And I thought it was pretty big, but it's not very big when you see the picture. So that was very interesting to me. I love seeing all the videos that people took at market. And I know it's a busy time, so a lot of people were there to help and didn't get a chance to do it, but it was fun to see when they did.
Experience that would be, I think.
Okay.
Like I said, you know, baseball season started, and I
The
like,
Royals are not off to a stellar start right now.
you know, I like baseball. I can't say I'm a big fan of baseball, but I do enjoy it, and it's easy to stitch too. But this came across, and I thought it was kind of cute. One other thing, do you know what position Dracula plays?
No.
Bat Boy. Okay, here's our bedtime story for it. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I think you'll enjoy it. A number of years ago, the Seattle Symphony was doing Beethoven's Ninth under the baton of a great conductor. At this point, you must understand two things. There's a long segment in the symphony where the bass violins don't have a thing to do. Not a single note for page after page. Second, there's a tavern right across the street that a lot of the bass players and local musicians visit. So it had been decided during this performance, after the bass players had played their parts in the opening of the ninth, they were quietly to lay down their instruments and leave the stage rather than sit on their stools looking and feeling dumb for 20 minutes. Once they got backstage, someone suggested that they trot across the street and have a few beers. After they had down the first couple rounds, one said, "Shouldn't we be getting back? It'd be awfully embarrassing if we were late." Another, presumably the one that decided to go on this excursion, replied, "Oh, I anticipated." He said, "We could use a little bit more time, so I tied a string around the last pages of the conductor's score. When he gets down to there, the conductor's going to have to slow the tempo way down while he waves its baton with one hand and fumbles with the string on the other. So they had another round and finally returned to the opera house, a little tipsy now, as they drank all their beers. However, as they came back on stage, one looked at the conductor's face and told them they were in serious trouble, Meatball. The conductor was furious, and why not? After all, it was the bottom of the ninth. The score was tied, and the bases were loaded.
Oh, that's so funny.
The end.
Very good.
Happy baseball season, all.
Yes. Well, thank you for spending time with us. We hope if you like the content of our video, you will like and consider it, subscribe. I do have a giveaway this time.
Oh.
I have a pillow that I made, and I just have not been using it. And it is...
What a nice share.
It is Stitching with the Housewives, Carrots and Cottontails Farm. I have finished it, and...
There you go. How sweet.
So if you would like to win this pillow, and U.S. only, please, because unfortunately shipping is very, very expensive overseas. So, but I'm happy to mail it out to Connell, U.S. And what should we use for a keyword? Carrots?
Carrots?
Carrots. Great. Carrots. Please use the keyword carrots. I'll search for that in our next video.
How sweet.
And give that away. And
okay. Well, so happy to be back. We'll be back. Did you have a travel trip? 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks. We'll be back in 3 weeks.
Oh, we have Easter. I will be at the Teresa Vanette workshop for Sampler Guild of the Rockies next weekend, and then we have Easter coming up, and so
okay, all right.
We probably just need to do like 3 weeks. So
okay,
hopefully we'll have lots to share.
Lots to share, probably.
Figure out our linen conundrums and get happy
floss
stitching
and
let us know if you've cooked anything from the cookbook and if you've started anything from this year's market or last year's market that has been calling to you. It's always fun to hear what people are working on.
All right, everybody. We wish you the best. Stay healthy.
Happy Easter if you celebrate. And
happy stitching.
Happy spring.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.